Hi students, let's try to understand a problem student. The we are going to study the melting student. What is the melting and melting point all? So a substance absorb heat energy and it melt. The temperature at which substance melt is called its melting point. Different substances have different melting point. Even hard substances such as diamond also melts. So what is melting point? It is the temperature at which solid change into liquid. Different substances have different melting point. Higher melting point means large force of attraction that occurs between the particles. For more clarification, let us study the melting point of the naphthalene and its various sections separately. Observe the variation of temperature of the solid while it is heated at the regular interval of time. We can continue heating till entire solid melt and even little beyond. If we plot a graph of temperature versus time, we get a melting curve as shown alongside from the graph that continue. So what is happening? Solid volume increases, it convert liquid, then it become the gas. This is the time. A to B, solid heated up. The temperature is steady increase till B, which is the melting point, and the solid began to melt. Its melting point observed to be 80 degrees C. Between B and C, solid continue to melt, but there is no change in temperature though the heating is continue. A mixture of both solid and liquid naphthalene exists at this stage. Between C and D, this is the liquid state. Now see the C and D, what is happening here. C is entire solid melt, naphthalene in the liquid state. Now there is gradual increase in temperature as heating is continue. Why temperature remain constant between B and C? The entire heat energy absorbed is used to overcome the attractive forces between the solid particle which are held in fixed position. Hence there is no increase in temperature. This hidden energy is called latent heat of fusion, which is exclusively used for the change of state from the solid to liquid. Latent heat of fusion is defined as the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg solid at its melting point to liquid at the same temperature. So, what the point, student? Because here saying the heat energy absorbed used to overcome the attractive force between the solid particle. The heat energy is absorbed to overcome from the attractive force. What is the latent heat of fusion? It is defined as the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg solid at its melting point to liquid at the same temperature. What is the freezing, student? Let us see the freezing. Let us start with the liquid and cool slowly. What happened now is start with the liquid naphthalene that we got from previously. Let us allow it to cool while observing the temperature at regular interval of the time till the liquid completely freeze or solidified. Let us plot a graph of temperature versus time. This curve is called the cooling curve. This show how temperature of the pure solid change at is cool to its freezing point beyond. So E to C, E to F, liquid at cool. Volume decreases. Temperature gradually decreases till F, which is the freezing point, and the liquid begins to freeze. Freezing point is 80 degree. Between F and G, liquid freeze. This is the liquid continue to freeze, but there is no change in the temperature, so cooling is continue. A mixture of both solid and liquid naphthalene exists in this state. Between G and H, this one. At G, entire liquid is frozen. Naphthalene is solid state. The temperature of the solid naphthalene gradually decrease as cooling continue. Why temperature remain constant between F and G? The entire heat energy is given out at the stage as the particle of the liquid get attracted to each other. This release energy is absorbed the surrounding, hence There is no increase in temperature for naphthalene. Both the liquid and solid coexist at this stage. The hidden energy is called latent heat of freezing, which is same as the latent heat of fusion. The latent heat is released when there is change in state from liquid to solid. What is the boiling now then? Boiling refers to the process by which a substance changes from the liquid state to the gaseous state at its boiling point. Different liquid had different boiling point. Heating curve. A heating curve is a graph showing the temperature of substance plotted against the amount of energy has absorbed. How does the temperature of the liquid change? Let us take a liquid such as water and heat it slowly till it boils while observing the temperature at regular interval of the time. So what the graph you are going to get here, PQ, this one. We plot a graph between temperature against time. We will get one curve similar to the one shown alongside. Between PQ, liquid gets heated up. Temperature gradually increases till Q, which is a boiling point, and liquid begin to boil. Between Q and R, liquid start vaporizing. Liquid continue to boil, but there is no change in temperature though the heating is continue. A mixture of both liquid and gas exists at this stage. Between R and S, gas gets heated up. At R, entire liquid is boiled. The liquid is changed into gas. There is a gradual increase in temperature of the gas. Heating is continued. Why the temperature remain constant between Q and R? Entire heat energy absorbed at this stage is used to overcome the attractive force between the liquid particles, which are intact. The particles start moving faster as kinetic energy increases. Hence, there is no increase in temperature. This hidden energy is called latent heat of vaporization. The heat energy is absorbed at the stage exclusively used for change of state from liquid to vapor. Latent heat of fusion is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of solid at its melting point to the liquid at same temperature. Thus, latent heat of vaporization defined as amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of liquid at its boiling point to vapor or gas at the same temperature. Different type of liquid at different latent heat of vaporization. A similar analysis, melting curve and boiling curve are as under. So melting. What is the melting? 0 degree C is the melting point of the solid. Temperature remain constant at 0 degree C as the solid is melt. During the melting process, solid and liquid exist in the liquid equilibrium. What is boiling? 100 degree is the boiling point of liquid. Temperature remains constant at 100 degree as the liquid boil. During the boiling process, liquid and gas exist in the equilibrium. Why does the temperature remain constant during melting and boiling? In cooling curve naphthalene, the temperature remains constant F and G. Similarly, in vaporization curve, the temperature again remains constant Q and R. This can be explained on the basis of the latent heat, means hidden, better. When the heat is supplied during the melting or boiling, it is used up in overcoming the intermolecular force of attraction due to which the rise in temperature is absorbed. The heat supplied during the melting or boiling is hidden in the content in the apparatus and is called latent heat. There are two kinds of latent heat of depending on the nature of the process: latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization. This we will study in the next video.